All right. So Slade just got home. Like literally pulled in the driveway at like 6:20, showered and got out here. So,
Fired
um,
up.
yeah. Uh he had a day. But um yeah, I cooked dinner and anyway, put his in the microwave, so at least he has something to look forward to whenever we get out of here.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Well, that's good. All right. So
Hey
tonight,
Bailey. Hey April.
oh, sorry. Hey,
Hey
Bailey.
Terry. Jonathan. Hey Mama. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, me too.
If
I,
anybody sent me a message in the last 4 hours, I promise I will respond soon when we get finished with this.
yeah, his last stop was a nightmare. So, but I knew when I told him dinner would be ready at 5:30 and he wasn't here at 5:30, I knew it must have been rough. I didn't even text and ask anything. So, because I know him well enough to know if I say dinner will be ready at a certain time, he is usually here. He does like to eat dinner with the rest of
I
us.
do. I like to eat my dinner hot.
Yeah. So, anyway, so when he walked out here, I said, "Oh, what happened at the last stop?" I knew immediately. But anyway, so um tonight we're going to talk about how to prioritize your spouse. And well, I guess I was prioritizing you when you walked in. Anyway, one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go over like I'm gonna name a few things that I think are important, and he and I are going to talk about it. All right. So I have show affection and appreciation, whether that be verbal, physical, or acts of service. So, we've talked about the five love languages on here several times. And I think, well, I don't think, I know prioritizing your spouse is loving them well. I mean, that's, you know, you put their needs before yours and all of those things. So, you know, show affection and appreciation to them. Like, you threw me off because you're reading your phone. Sorry.
People keep texting me.
Um, um, like verbally, physically, and even if that's not something that you are comfortable doing, you just still should do it because you're prioritizing them. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Um, I have dedicate quality time. So date nights. He and I try to go on a date every week. There are some weeks it doesn't happen, but we do try every single week to go on a date. Even if it's just, you know, running somewhere and eating fast on a Monday night, like whatever.
Yeah, we went this Monday night, and I was trying to do a little bit better, and I was gonna get the regular steak, the 16 ounce, but they had a 24 ounce that was the special, and she talked me into getting that.
It wasn't hard.
I was just fine with the 16 ounce, but I felt pressure to get the 24.
But tell them
So,
why.
could you talk me into it?
No, it's because okay, it had
Cause,
macaroni and
because it had
cheese,
macaroni and cheese with it.
and you couldn't get it
You
with
could
the 16.
couldn't get the mac and cheese with the 16. You had to get the 24.
Yeah,
And
and he loves mac and cheese.
I was trying to do better.
So
She
anyway,
talked me into it. So that was Monday's date night.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you know, some of you guys have kids at home, some of you don't. So we have to go somewhere to have a date night because we do still have kids at home.
Can't get away from them little crumb snatchers.
Last night, he was going to shower and he had his stuff sitting on the bed. Here comes Bailey, wide open through the door.
Gets in the bed.
He said, well, I guess I'll take my clothes in here to the bathroom since I can't get dressed in the bedroom because you're in here. She said, okay. So, yeah. Yeah, the kids are always around.
They're always like right there. You know?
Yeah. But I'm not complaining about it.
Right there.
I would rather them be.
It's okay.
Yeah. Rather them be with us than what they could be doing.
Yeah.
And I have on here uninterrupted time, and my note is put away your phone. As I said at the beginning of this, you threw me off because you were looking at your phone. That's a hard one for him. Like, I don't know that there's anything harder for him than not looking at that phone. And sometimes it's
just vibrating.
Oh, I know. I felt it.
Just sent me a message.
Sometimes it's work related, but sometimes it's not. He's just it's an addiction at this point. Like, he literally can't put it down. Do you agree with that?
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I said that, when I say uninterrupted time, put down your phone, that's why. Like, because it's constant. It goes off constantly. My foot keeps vibrating because my foot is sitting on this couch we're sitting on, and he has his vibrate on, and it just keeps going off. And it's probably nothing important. It's probably a group chat he's in.
I bet it ain't.
You think it's important?
I don't know how important it is, but I bet it's work related.
Oh. All right. Well, he might be right this time. But sometimes it's not. But I give him a lot of leeway on the phone situation because of work, though. Because I do get, the thing rings constantly due to work.
I think what she's saying is uninterrupted is in no distractions.
Yeah.
Don't be occupied with something else.
Yeah.
Whether it be a phone or.
Especially if they're trying to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
Like, don't be scrolling Facebook. Don't, just listen to them. And he is good about that. He'll ignore a phone call or whatever if I'm trying to tell him something. But I have to pick on him about it, obviously. And then I have active listening, like pay attention to what they're saying, which goes hand in hand with that. And then I have consider their needs and feelings. So this one's huge to me because I think this is the number one way we prioritize our spouse. And I think this one goes hand in hand with one of the other ones I have, which is prioritize your relationship over things. Well, in order to prioritize, yes, Terry, be present.
Be present.
In order to prioritize your relationship over things, you have to consider how they feel and what their needs are.
Yeah.
So I have, before making decisions, think how it will affect them. Everything, I try to think, first of all, I'm one of these people, I try to think everything through, almost to my detriment sometimes, because it's like you don't know the outcome. Like, I'll have 55 outcomes in my head, and I'm like, yeah, but will it affect them? Sometimes it's too much, because sometimes I let prioritizing others over me rule me. There has to be a line there. But as far as he goes, I always prioritize him over myself because, I mean, I love him. And if you love someone, that's what you do.
Yeah, like you want what's best for me, I want what's best for you. So whatever I can do to assure that is a good thing.
Yeah. Now his phone's ringing. That's probably work. Um, and then I have be mindful of insecurities, avoid comments or jokes that could hurt their feelings or make them feel insecure. Like if you know there's something that they're insecure about, don't joke about it.
Yeah.
Um, like, I mean, my weight is something obviously that I constantly struggle with, and he would never make a comment, even joking about anything related to my body, like negatively, ever. Um, even if he was joking, like he wouldn't do that because you don't do things that you know bother them. And I think that goes even with like, so when I was pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Are we ever going to stop telling this story?
No, you're mean to me.
Oh my goodness.
This is a great example.
This story has been told so many times.
Is it not a great example?
Of what?
Of a time that you were not mindful of my insecurities.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
So,
my face broke out really bad when I was pregnant with Gavin. And keep in mind, I've never had acne in my life. Although he has. Okay? He had to take meds to get his under control.
So, I was just
okay?
Let her know how it felt.
I had never had acne in my life. Well, my dad was already, I worked for my dad when I was pregnant with Gavin. And he already said something about it every time he saw me.
Oh, so I'm getting blamed for his.
No, but I'm just saying.
Oh, so now the truth comes out.
So, anyway, well, I wasn't wearing makeup. And that's not me. Like, I always have on makeup. And my dad would be like, oh, baby, I know you'll be glad when you can wear some makeup again. And I was like, yeah. Well, one night I'm in the bathroom washing my face, and he makes a joke that wasn't funny and told me I had pepperoni face. Not funny at all. So, yeah, I was already insecure, and he just dug that knife in a little deeper.
I don't remember. I mean, I didn't just come out and say that. I'm sure there was some context to that conversation. I don't think I just threw that out there. You were probably being mean to me.
No, I was washing my face.
You were probably being mean to me. If I had to guess, you were probably being mean.
No, we were laughing and cutting up, but that is a joke you shouldn't have said.
Took it too far.
You took it too far.
Poor Gavin.
Yes. That's where he got it from. He's in the womb. Oh, man. So don't do things like that to your spouse. It's not very nice.
I didn't do it again.
He didn't. And that's been a lot of years ago.
A lot.
17, I guess, almost 18.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was pregnant. Yeah. So anyway, those would be things you don't do.
So don't call your spouse pepperoni face.
Right.
Don't do that.
Not a good idea. And then I have empathy. Try to understand their perspective and show empathy towards them. And I had said prioritize your relationship over things. Don't neglect your spouse. Don't neglect things they want, or things they need, I guess is what I should say. Like from you, as far as like emotional and things like that. Don't put things like before them, like such as work or your kids. And that one, as parents, is a hard one. And for those of you that on this subject, for those of you that were in ladies group last night, and I asked my daughter, do I, I said, do I put you before your dad? And she said, yeah, sometimes. Well, just to let y'all know, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I do that. So I get in the car and I'm like, Bailey, I'm like, when do I do that? I'm like, you need to tell me. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just saying that you've probably done it at some point. I said, that is not what you said. So I was thinking, okay, so maybe she's talking about when she gets in trouble, like when she's gotten in trouble in the past, and maybe she felt like I was like taking her side or whatever. Because we don't argue in front of the kids, but there are times that we have to look at her and be like, because she's always in my room, and we have to look at her and be like, get out of the room. So I was like, well, maybe she thought at that point I was, taking up for her or something. I don't know. I literally couldn't. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. She couldn't think of anything. I said, well, if you can't think of anything,
It probably don't happen.
it probably don't happen. Now, has it probably happened at some point? Yes. But I was talking actively doing it. So yeah. Let's clear that little tidbit up. Because I was very concerned. I was like, oh my goodness, I need to work on that. That's not okay. If I make her feel like, I was like, I don't know how I do it, but I need to find out.
She's sitting over there thinking she's more important than me.
Yeah. I tell them all the time their dad's my favorite.
Girl, stop.
That's a regular conversation in our house. They'll be like, I'm the favorite. I'm the favorite. I'm like, no, dad's the favorite. So,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Dad is the favorite. And don't put like hobbies and things like that before your spouse either. Like, I know some people, like, their spouse will ask them to like do something with them, but then their friend asks if they'll do something, and then they'll like cancel plans with their spouse or whatever to go do something with their friends. And it's like, are your friends or your spouse more important? What are you prioritizing?
Yeah.
So, and when you put someone else's needs before yours, that's in every aspect. Like, I do not love doing some things. Like, I don't love cooking. Like, it's something I don't mind it. Actually, I would like it a lot more if it wasn't 700 degrees
it's
in there.
so hot in our kitchen.
It is. When I started today, it was 68 degrees in the house. It was 76 degrees when I finished. Everybody's like, gas stoves. When we get rid of this one, I'll go back to an electric one, because that thing puts off some heat. And especially when you're someone like me who cooks everything from scratch when I cook. So I'm not in there for an hour. Like, I started cooking today at 2. I finished at 5:15. So when you have something going for 3 hours or more, it's putting off some heat.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I will get an electric stove again. I do love the way the gas cooks, but I can't handle how hot it is. It drives me crazy. But anyway, so that's something I don't love to do, and I don't do it all the time. But when I don't have, I don't do it all the time because a lot of times I don't have time. But if there's a day like today I didn't have anything to do, I try to cook. And I know he enjoys that because he is very limited on what he eats anyway. Like, he's very picky. And so if we order food, he basically eats the same thing all the time because he doesn't eat different things.
I don't venture out now.
No.
I know what's good, and that's what I eat.
Yeah. So I know he enjoys whenever I cook something, so he's not having to eat the same thing. over and over again. Um, another thing I absolutely hate doing is laundry. But he doesn't like doing it either. So I've always taken one for the team and done the laundry.
I had a semi meltdown when I went in just a
Today?
minute ago. Yeah. I didn't have any underwear in my drawer.
Yeah. Um,
And Gavin said, "Did you step on a dog bone?" I said, "No, I don't have any underwear."
yeah, that's not my fault.
I know it's not your fault.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I was telling them.
that's on Gavin.
Yeah, so we pay
But
Gavin to do the laundry.
he said, "Yeah, I folded them up and put them in your drawer." I went in there, and there was one
One pair. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, my bad."
And I literally told Gavin, though. I told Gavin and Bailey yesterday. I said, your dad needs clothes put in his drawer, or I can do it. Oh, no, I'll get it done. That's what he told me. So, because I know you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to dig for anything.
No.
Like, he wants it readily accessible.
Gavin, if you're watching, if not, I'm going to tell you when I get in there. I don't ask for a lot around here. But when I open that underwear drawer, I do want there to be underwear
Especially considering you've got about 40
in the
pair.
drawer. Yeah. Yeah. So.
And he's probably washed them. They're probably
And I
folded.
spent the last 3 days taking them out of the suitcase that had not been emptied yet.
Yeah.
So he's had plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's not my job anymore. But I
Yeah.
did tell him I could take the job back over. And I can. It's not a big deal. I will do it. But yeah, because I know that's something he doesn't want to do.
For me, not a lot to dig for anything. I sure did a lot of that all day.
Maybe
that-
that's why you don't like to do
in
it
that
at
old
home.
messy van.
Well, maybe that's why you don't like to do it at home, because at home you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Because I keep things in order.
That's true. Yeah.
So for however many years we've been,
Maybe you should
living together.
prioritize me and clean my van.
oh, he wouldn't want me to clean his van. I'd probably throw away a lot of stuff he probably needs. Tell them how I clean things
He throws everything away.
in the garbage.
Yeah.
There's one thing about it. When something happens to me, my kids won't have a bunch of junk they have to go through. Like I did my grandmother.
It'll all be in the garbage.
It'll all be in the trash already, so there's that. I have a closet in the dining room, a very small closet that has random stuff in it. But I even have drawers in there with the random stuff.
Yep.
Anyway. And then ways you prioritize me. Well, I can assure you, he does not like working the amount of hours he works, but he does that so that I don't have to work. And I say I don't work.
Well, you don't really collect a paycheck.
I collect a small paycheck from
Yeah.
the salon, but not anything substantial.
Yeah.
And there is something that I appreciate about him. So when we got, did I buy that white car before we got married? I don't remember. Anyway,
I don't think so. Maybe not.
it might have been right before we got married. Anyway, I had a nice car that my parents bought me, and I had it. We started living together when we were 19. I think I bought that car when I was 20, so we must have just gotten married. I bought another car, excuse me, whenever we got married, and then the kids were both in car seats. After we had Gavin, I was still driving the car, and it was a lot. Like, it was too much going on in the back seat. So I was like, we've got to have something bigger. I'm like, this is crazy. And at that time, I mean, I was working, he was working, but I mean, we weren't making a ton of money. But instead of being like, "Oh well, that's too bad for you," he was like, "Okay." And so I found something that we could afford, and we bought it because I needed something bigger, and he was prioritizing my needs before his.
Yeah, the old Mountaineer.
Yeah.
The old Mercury Mountaineer.
It was a great truck too.
Yeah.
It was great. Um then I won't talk about. I've traded cars a lot.
Look, she's made some bad decisions.
I have.
She's made some poor choices when it comes to automobiles.
I have done that. Because I would think, "Oh, I can go back to a car now. They're a little older." Well, then I went back to a car and that didn't last long. I don't even know that it lasted a year.
What
And so
car?
that Sonata I had after the Mountaineer.
Oh, I totally forgot about that car.
Yeah, I literally had it for like 8 months, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah. A bad decision.
Stupid. It was a stupid decision.
I totally forgot about that car.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got it though because we were having to drive to Eufaula and the gas was killing us on the Mountaineer.
Yeah.
But what I should have done was just found a smaller SUV.
It just held out just a little bit longer.
Yeah, because it didn't last long either. That's a story for another day. But yeah, so I got a car though. Dumb decision. But I didn't do that just one time. So we traded that in, got an SUV. I drove it for a little while. It was a smaller SUV.
What was that?
The Sorrento.
Oh, the Kia. Golly, I forgot about that one too.
I didn't have it.
Goodness, how many cars? What in the world?
A lot of them.
That is insane.
I didn't drive it long either. I think I drove it for about a year. And then I got the Armada. And I kept the Armada for a while.
Yeah, like 18 months.
No, I had it for like 4 years. 3 years, I think. It was 3 years.
I would say 4 years.
No,
That'd be a stretch.
I don't keep anything
You
4
ain't
years.
kept anything 4 years.
Probably not going to either. But 3 years, I kept the Armada. And then I was like, I could go to a smaller SUV. He said, okay. Knowing. He knew it was that I was going to be like, oh, this is too small. But he let me. Okay. I had that. I said the other day 9 months, but no, I actually had that one a little over a year. I think I had it 18 months. And I was like, this is too small. I was like, I can't drive this. This is the Volkswagen that I had.
Mm-hmm.
So then.
Now, she had it 18 months, but this started.
Probably month 6.
Probably as soon as the new wore off of it.
No, it started when I had the first pageant I had to go to with Bailey. And I couldn't fit everything in there. And I had to get her boyfriend's mom to bring some of the stuff in her truck.
Mm.
That's when it started. And I was like, this is crazy. So I haven't went to anything small since then. I had something. Now, I went smaller when I bought what we have now than what I had, but that hasn't bothered me at all. I didn't need the extra space. I did when they were younger, but now I don't really need it. But I couldn't ever go without something the size that I have now. Even if I decided to get something smaller, I would have to keep something big. I mean, I guess unless our kids decided not to go anywhere with us, but
that's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. But, there was times in our marriage, like, he needed a new vehicle, but he didn't do that because that wasn't his priority. His priority was me and the kids. And so he made sure that we had what we needed before he made sure he had what he needed or wanted or whatever. Like, he didn't have a vehicle that wasn't a work vehicle until he bought the car that he has now.
Until 2020.
Yeah. So we got married in '07. So for 13 years, he didn't have but one vehicle, and that was his work, whatever he worked with.
Mm-hmm.
So, for 13 years, he made sacrifices and prioritized me, even though it was probably hard sometimes, I'm sure. Because, I'm sure he wanted a second vehicle,
Yeah.
even though he drives it once a week. But that's not the point. The point is it's his. And
And right now the battery's dead.
yeah, I went to get in it today to go to the grocery store. The grooming people were here for the dogs, and so they were parked behind my truck. So I was like, "Oh, I'll just take his car up to the grocery store and pick up the meat to the meat market, whatever." Well, I go to get in it. It is dead. I'm talking dead, like so dead it won't even ding whenever you open the door right now. It won't lock or unlock. Like it is dead. So I had to call April to come pick me up like I was a child to take me to the meat market to get something to cook for dinner. So,
Thanks, April.
yeah, thanks, April. You're the real MVP here. She just rolled up to the front on Main Street, and I ran outside and got in the car.
You're the only reason I'm eating tonight, April.
Literally. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what great friends are for. I'm really glad she lives right down the road. And then I also have on here vacations, getaways, and that doesn't look the same for everyone. As I said earlier, we still have kids in the house. Like, if we want to be by ourselves, we have to leave here. Also, if he's not, the only way he's not going to work is if he's not in Dothan, Alabama. So, if I want to have uninterrupted time with him, we have to leave here. There's no other option. Like, some people have an option to have that at home. Like, they get off work, they might not have kids, whatever. They can have like just them time. We don't have that.
No. And you need to be sure you do. You 100% find something to do with them kids.
Yes.
Even if it's just for a day, get away from the kids.
Yes.
They're not going to be there one day.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
Right. It's been, I don't know how long ago, maybe a year or so ago. He and I were sitting in the car, and I looked at him and was like, we have to make sure that we're having like conversation and stuff that doesn't revolve around the kids. Because because if we don't, I'm like, these kids are going to leave. I'm like, and you and I are going to be by ourselves. So
Probably.
yeah, possibly. But do you like me anymore? Like, that's honestly a question you have to ask yourself. Like, do you like me and do I like you? Like, do we like each other anymore? Or are we still dating each other? Because you can go out on a date, but just because you take someone to eat doesn't mean that you're dating them. You can sit there in silence at dinner. You can sit there and all you talk about is the kids at dinner. That's not a date. That's like a work meeting. You're getting your priorities straight for what you need to do at the house, and then you're just going back home.
Yeah.
That's not a date. A date is when you truly enjoy each other's company and conversation. And it's not about what you have to do or what the kids are doing or the next task on your to-do list. Like, I don't know. It's like you have to go back to where it started and truly enjoy each other.
Yeah, you got to remember what it felt like
Yeah.
when you were dating,
Yeah. And that
in quotes.
anytime that, I've ever had to do like any kind of like marriage counseling or spousal counseling, whatever, with someone, that's always what I'm always like, you need to make a list of the reasons why you chose them, like why you fell in love with them. Th- like, and then you need to act on those things. Like, you have to remind yourself of all of those things because it's so easy to get caught up in the things that you don't like about them.
Yeah.
And so, and that's part of prioritizing your relationship. You have to put in perspective. Like, my, and sometimes it's us, sometimes it's not them that's actually doing anything. It's something in us that's making us feel that way.
Yeah.
I also have strength in intimacy. And that doesn't have to just be sexual. Intimacy goes so much farther than that. And I think that's where people get confused. I don't know another word, but intimacy is anything you share that you don't share with someone else.
Yeah.
Like, to keep you close, holding their hand, giving them a kiss, rubbing their back. Any Those are all like physical, but then there's also intimacy, like what I was talking about conversation and things like that. And women need that. Like, where I don't think some men necessarily, they need more physical. A lot of men need more physical than um emotional intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not giving us emotional intimacy, we are not interested in the physical side of you. If we don't feel safe and we don't feel prioritized and we don't feel like we're always number one in your life, why would I want to do anything physical with you? Now Slade is like that as a man. He does have to have the emotional um side of things, but some men are not like that.
Yeah.
And some women, I would say he might be a little more emotional than I am, like emotional driven in some things. Um Not all things, but some things he's probably a little more emotional. But that's we we were raised differently is all that boils down to. You are allowed to have those emotions. I was not.
Yeah.
Um and so that's something, that's one of those things that he had to figure out how to probably deal with me in that aspect of things.
Yeah. I had to figure out how to deal with you, but I also had to figure out how to deal with me. It's can't always be emotional like that.
Yeah.
You can't always be emotion driven.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to learn how to be emotion driven, where you had to learn how not to be.
Take it down a notch.
Yeah. I had one emotion, and that was anger. I didn't know how to feel anything else. And so Jesus helped with that, though. He helped with my, like, figuring that out, like helping me through that.
Yeah, and you through Jesus, you come to realize that your feelings are
They're just feelings.
they're just feelings. They change.
Yes.
What I'm mad about today, I won't care about tomorrow. So I can't let 5 minutes of anger ruin my entire day,
Right.
because that feeling's going to change. I'm not going to be angry forever. I'm not going to be happy forever. I'm not going to be sad forever. You just have to learn to deal with your emotions as they come, and move on,
Yeah,
move
and
forward.
that's kind of what I was going to touch on next. So that's it. All goes hand in hand. I have communicate openly and honestly. You need to resolve conflicts constructively. And another thing that I have heard, just in, I don't know, sometimes I think I have like a sign on my head that says, "Please talk to me about all of your problems." And I don't mind it. I mean, I don't mind hearing people's problems. I'm not one of those that I can hear someone's problems and then it affect me. I'm not that person. So maybe that's why God just sends them my way, because He's like, she'll just let it roll off and keep rolling with her life. Um, so people talk to me about things all the time, and you know, I've heard women. Obviously, I don't talk to men about their problems because I don't talk to men that's not my spouse. So there's that. Um, but I've had women tell me before that.
Except guys when you're getting your tires changed, you talk to them while you're waiting in the waiting room.
Not because I want to.
But you do.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah, because they make me talk to them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ask Gavin.
You could just not.
So they're supposed to talk and I'm just supposed to sit there?
Yeah.
And not respond to them?
Yeah.
Okay, crazy person.
You don't prioritize me or not?
You're insane. He's joking. He doesn't care.
I could not care less.
Now, he would care if I was talking to some man on the phone. He would care about that. But some rando in the tire place, he don't care.
Do not.
I don't even remember where I was going with that.
You don't talk to random men.
I don't talk to random men.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I know what I was saying. Resolving conflicts constructively. I hear all the time, like, April's laughing. Like, I think sometimes people are scared to say certain things to their spouse because they don't know how they're going to react. And we shouldn't be scared to say something to our spouse because of how they're going to react. If they react poorly, that's on them. That's not on you. And I'm not talking about like being mean to them. I'm talking about if there's something that you are having a hard time with or something they're doing that you don't agree with, you should be able to tell them.
Yeah.
And if they don't respond, appropriately, that's not your fault and that's not your problem. They should learn to control their emotions better. As my counselor says, you don't have to deal with adult temper tantrums. She's like, they need to learn to regulate themselves. That's not on you to regulate it for them.
Yeah.
I am bad about trying to regulate someone else's emotions, because if someone is upset, I immediately think I've done something. And so that is one of the main things we talk about in counseling almost every time I go, because I have a really hard time not always taking fault or blame for something. Like, used to, if he would have come in here and I would have realized that he had had a hard day, I would have immediately thought in my head, what did I do? His hard day had nothing to do with me. Like, nothing at all. But I immediately would have taken it and been like, uh-oh, I've done something wrong. And then I have like this pit in my stomach and I feel nauseated. And it's like when you were waiting on your dad to come home and give you a spanking when you're a kid. That's how I feel a lot of the times. And so, I had to explain that to my counselor, and she's like, you're afraid of adult temper tantrums. She is like, because they can't regulate their emotions. She's like, you can't keep putting yourself in a situation to where you're trying to regulate someone else. She's like, because that's not your job. She was like, your only job is to regulate your own emotions. And and I'm not saying this about him, I'm not saying he doesn't regulate his emotions. Now, there has been times, obviously, because we all have those moments where we throw an adult temper tantrum. But instead of me going, well, that was him and that's his problem, and I'm not dealing with that, I would immediately try to almost coddle his behavior and fix it.
Yes, like how can I fix it? What can I do to make it better?
Yeah. And I have to realize that that's not my job. That's like that, just like it's not his job to regulate my emotions. Um, Now, I'm not saying like if your spouse is upset, like crying about something, that you shouldn't try to comfort them. But if they're angry and they're pitching a fit, well, don't ask, well, what's wrong? Can I do something? That's not for you to do. That's on them. They need to regulate themselves and be adults, and then y'all can talk about it later whenever they are regulated. Um, that totally got off subject from what I was talking about, kind of, but maybe I just felt like y'all need to hear that. I don't know. It's something that I've learned recently. It's something I'm still working on, and it's good. It's important. And to be honest, I had never thought about it that way until she was like, "You're trying to regulate everyone's emotions." And I was like, "Oh, you're right. That is what I'm doing." So in that situation, I have to prioritize myself. Like, that was one of the things I talked about at the beginning. I'm always trying, like, sometimes I do too much.
Mhm.
I'm trying to literally make everything perfect, and everything can't be perfect always. And it's just something I have to work on. But there is one thing about me. If I have something that is not becoming of me, I will work on it. April said I'm guilty of that. Yeah, like it it's it's a trauma response. It like you know, growing up, whenever you have trauma, you can't control it. You can't control things in your life, or what the adults in your life do, or how they respond to things, or how negative they are about things. You can't control any of that. But as a child, you kept trying to. So then you take that into your adult life, and you do that with your spouse. And so when you're a kid, you immediately think, "Oh, this is my fault because they're angry and this is my fault." So now you're trying to do all of these good things to make your parents happy with you. You're like, and then it just feeds and it feeds, and you go years and you just keep doing it. And I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it is. It's a trauma response. And until we do something about it, it doesn't change.
That's good.
Um, yeah. So that was kind of off topic, but hopefully it helps someone. It helps me. It helped me when I was told that. So hopefully that helps someone else. Um, I should have started counseling when I was way younger, because I think I would have been a lot better off at this point. But
Better late than never.
yeah. If anyone's looking for a counselor, I will say Brandy Reeves, at Milestones. She's fabulous. She does kids and adults, and she's great. So I guess the last thing I had was the re- to connect with your spouse and resolving conflicts. But you know, I was just going to say the vacation thing. I know whenever you have kids, that's like little kids, it's really hard to be able to go somewhere for a long period of time. So, like he said, even if it's just for the night, there's been times we didn't leave Dothan. We got a hotel room in Dothan, Alabama. Like, just so it was a change of scenery from the house. And
Yeah.
a lot of times the kids would stay at the house with like my mom or something. So, I mean, that's what we had to do. But go
You just
ahead.
got to get away from normal.
Yeah.
Got to get away from the routine. You got to get away from the mundane and just do something different.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And I don't feel like we touched on this very much. And I think this is so important. Don't put your children before your spouse. We kind of we grazed over it because I told the story from last night, but we didn't really that. And I think that is the number one thing that people do in marriages is put their children before their spouse. It's easy to do, especially when you're mom and you're with these kids all the time or whatever. It's easy. It's I mean, I have been guilty of it in the past. I really don't do it too much. I don't think now. Now I'm like these kids. They're their own problem.
It's easy when you're dad too, because you don't get to see them. You don't get to spend that time with them
Yeah.
that she does, and you don't. So when you do, you want to be sure that you make them happy
Mm-hmm.
because you think, well, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I want them to know that I love them. Well, she needs to know you love her too.
Yeah. Because as we said earlier, about the end of the day, it's just
At
us.
the end of the day, it's just going to be me and her here.
Yeah.
We think
Yeah.
at
That's what we're hoping
some point
for.
in the future,
That's our goal.
there will just be us.
Yeah.
And so we have to like each other. I'll always love her, but I still got to like her.
Right.
And if I don't like her, that'll be a miserable
Way to live.
existence.
Yeah. And, that goes for adult children as well. People can put their adult kids before their spouse as well.
Yeah.
And that can get messy, especially when they're adults. Because they're not even living in the same house with you. And then you're coddling their feelings and emotions and what they need more than the spouse who's living in the house with you. So that can be rough. But the only example I know to give is if he wanted something, I don't know. I don't even know. Okay, some new golf clubs. He wants some new golf clubs. Well, Gavin decides he wants some new golf clubs. I have to make a choice. Who am I choosing?
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
You going to buy me new golf clubs?
Yes.
She's buying me new. You heard it here. She's buying me new golf clubs.
I've tried to buy you new golf clubs multiple times. Have I not?
Do I have new golf clubs?
You told me you didn't want them. I will buy him some new golf clubs. But if they both wanted a new set of golf clubs, I'm going to buy them for him. I'm not being any kind of way, and don't take this any kind of way. He hasn't done anything to for real deserve a new set of golf clubs.
He had my old golf clubs.
Exactly. He works. And in my situation, I don't work. But so if I wanted a new purse and Bailey wanted a new purse, who's getting the purse?
Oh, you, 100%.
And why?
Because you're besides the fact that you're my priority, the backlash would be unbelievable.
Because I'm not going to sit down.
She's not going to be second.
No.
She's not. I'm not going to play second fiddle to someone else in my marriage.
Absolutely not.
She's not going to play second fiddle to someone else in our marriage.
I don't care if it is our kids.
Yeah, they're not
They're not priority
they're
here.
not my spouse.
No.
They're not my priority. They're not number 2 on my list.
Right. Yeah.
They're 3 and 4. 3A and 3B. They're both 3.
Yeah, and so and no, I wouldn't allow that. I'd be like, "Oh, no, no, no. Let me tell you what's going to happen." But but he wouldn't do that to me either. Like I wouldn't have to worry about that because he would pick me. Because I'm not trying, as I said a minute ago, not trying to be any kind of way. These kids, they've got it real easy. Okay? What have they done to deserve a set of $1,500 golf clubs or a purse? I'm not going to say an amount on that. What are they? We take care of them. We pay their bills. We feed them. Like, what could they possibly? They don't deserve anything. If we give them something, it's out of the kindness of our heart.
They ain't going without.
At all.
Ain't nobody around here going without.
No.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that.
Prioritize your spouse over your children, over everything but Jesus.
Yes. I even saw yesterday, somebody had commented on that TikTok Bailey made about dating, and they're like, "Oh, my mom will always be number 2.
I saw something like that.
And I was like, so you would prioritize your mom over your wife? You're not going to be married long.
They're probably not married.
Oh, probably not. But LOL. If I prioritize my dad over you, we would not still be sitting here.
No, I mean, that's just crazy.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
Like, I love my dad. He loves his mom. I love his mom. But his mom's not the one living right here with him right now. Yeah, he already did that. Like, when Gavin moves out of my house and gets married, I'm not his priority anymore. While he's living in my house, yeah, I'm his priority because I'm the one that takes him everywhere.
While he takes his golf clubs and goes off somewhere else, I'm still stuck here with my old golf clubs. She's going to have to hear about it.
Right. You're right. Yeah, and he's going to have to hear about that purse I didn't get.
Yep.
So, yeah, just prioritize men and women. Just always prioritize your spouse because end of the day, it's just y'all.
That's right.
And it's important. So I hope you guys learned something.
I'm hungry.
I'm going to go in here and heat his food up so he can eat.
Nothing like reheated food. Love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.